7 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Alrighty, dighty then. After a little technical difficulties, we're up and rolling. Facebook giving us hell, so you're gonna have to check us out on the YouTube channel. So that's where we're at, babies. Let's get it in. Holy cow! Holy cow! From happy little boys to sad little cows. We were gluttons over the holiday, and our team shit the bed while our tummies were gurgling with all that great food. I hope you guys had a good holiday and Happy New Year and all that stuff went well. Well, not so well for the Michigan Wolverines, so we'll get into that. The finals, NFL, you know, all the usual suspects. And, yeah, let's do this thing. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moon.
Hey, we're back here for our first show of 2022. It is colder than shit outside. Oh my God. Woke up this morning, feeling pretty good. It's in the 30s, not bad. Now it's like 20 with wind chill like 0.
Oh, yeah.
This is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
But I guess, you know what? It's better than being stuck in I-95 overnight. And outside of DC, I guess, on there. We got lots here to talk about on there. As we said, Michigan crapping the bed in the Orange Bowl out there. It looks like the SEC does get their rematch that nobody wanted, but obviously we're going to get because that's the way it goes.
Right.
Also, we've got Antonio Brown losing, basically having another brain fade of epic proportions. So we'll get into that. Nice meltdown there. Also is today, 30 years ago, Lions had our last playoff win over the Dallas Cowboys, 38-6. And before that, it was 20 years. It was 1957. All right, so we'll have a little fun with there. We've got some NBA action going on. We've got NHL action going on. We've got COVID going on. Again, more players are not out or opt out this week on there with COVID. Obviously, with the last week of the season. If you're locked into playoffs, you can't do anything. You're not playing your guys anyway. So what the hell's the difference? So,
people are losing their minds over some of these things because, like,
I mean, if you got a fantasy team on there and your championship's on week 18, you need to just kill your commissioner, punch him right in the throat, punch.
Absolutely. Well, it's not so much that; it's the gambling aspect. I really think, to be honest,
bet some underdogs then.
Well, yeah, but you've seen those lines, right? You've seen how they've been like.
There's like three
moving like crazy.
There are 3 lines right now. There were like in the 14 to 17 point range on there for on it. So I don't care if your quarterback's not playing or not on there. You're not beating that team anyways when you're a 16 point underdog. Oh my God!
Then there's that.
There is that there. So again, hopefully everybody had a great New Year's out there. I know it doesn't mean much on there, especially I can't stand Ohio State, but the Rose Bowl was freaking the most entertaining damn game I've watched in God knows how long. The best college game I've watched since Bama Clemson fighting it out when Clemson won it with Deshaun Watson.
We got our Facebook feed finally back up. Facebook was messing with us earlier, so but I did get that feed up.
They saw the negative post, so they made sure they had to keep us happy.
Well, they must have, yeah. So they're like, yeah, screw you. Everybody go to YouTube. And they're like, oh, no, don't do that. Stay on Facebook. And then all of a sudden our stream works. Yeah. You see how that works?
How about just keep it working all the frickin' time?
I know. Then we don't have to, say stuff like that. So, but if you missed the opening, it wasn't much. And it's on the YouTube channel, of course. Subscribe. And hit your notification dingers and all that stuff over there on our YouTube channel, and then you won't have to worry about Facebook being, you don't have to worry about getting zucked.
Yeah.
As we call it here at the show. All right. Sorry. Back to sports.
So, yeah, we got everything going on. Of course, now here locally on there, the craziness on there is like, the rumors out there because it's basically people got to write about something out there. So they're now trying to get Harbaugh's going to the Bears. He's going to leave Michigan and blah, 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 blah. Dude's not going to the Bears.
This is the deal. You know how many teams have been dropped? The Vegas was dropped. All these, you know why this stuff was dropped? He wants his money back.
Yeah, of course he does. Then pay, as I say again, you win the Big Ten, you get to the college football playoffs, pay the man his money.
Well, this is my take on it. This is what the expectations were coming in.
Yeah.
So you did all this for all these years. Do it again. Let's have a repeat performance next year, and you'll get your money. As far as that goes.
We'll up your incentive bonuses on it if you make them, and then if you do it again, we'll pay you.
Right.
Otherwise, you know what? Go ahead, go to the Bears. See how you like it.
Dude, there's no Bears. Stop.
There's no Bears. There's no Vegas.
There's none of that. Stop. And then if there was, why would he go?
Right.
What's there for him that there's anything for him to build with? And then you think he's going to be able to go in there and just do what he wants and muscle his way around ownership?
No.
That doesn't work. That's why he got kicked out of San Francisco.
Right.
There's none of that shit. You know what? The only reason that got leaked is because his goddamn agent leaked it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Call his bluff.
Yeah. Exactly. Call his bluff. To me, this is one of the more blatant bluffs that I've seen. I just don't see why. Who for what? Who wants him? Who would deal with him?
That's why he took the deal last year when we cut his salary in half because nobody wanted him.
Right. Like, and then what? Now he had 1 year where they didn't crap the bed. 1 year where they beat Ohio State. They didn't beat Michigan State.
No.
They lost that game. They didn't beat Ohio State, and they got embarrassed in the championship in the
semifinals.
So, yeah. I mean, what's that doing? I mean, what did he prove? He proved that when he brought in a bunch of young coaches and let them take over, it was fine. The minute he started flipping out, it was a shit show again. Is that what he proved? That's what he proved to me.
Right. Well, I say let him go. If he wants to go, go. Fine. We just let Gaddis take over and go from there.
I just.
As long as Mike McDonald's still calling the defense and let Gaddis call the offense and let him run the show.
Right. Because I just don't. If you watch that game, okay, so Michigan just isn't built to come back from behind.
No.
That's why you've noticed every single game they've been ahead. And so, but it felt, and we talked about it in our little pregame here, Moose. It felt like a Harbaugh freak-out panic mode move, like early on. That early they went for it on fourth down early. Was that the second drive, the first drive?
Second drive.
I was like, what are you doing here? You're already panicking because you did two things and it didn't work? Like, that was what we talked about before, Moose. That's what bothers me about Harbaugh. When we talked about this infusion of the young coaching talent and stuff like that, I said that's fine and dandy till Harbaugh goes Harbaugh again. And now he goes Harbaugh at the most inopportune time. Because that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
And it felt like the whole team kind of panicked behind him, rallied behind his coat, their coach, so to speak. And they all kind of just fell apart. And it was, I mean, don't get it twisted. Georgia's
good.
Yeah, I mean,
they're really good.
I mean, they're a pro
Other
team.
than that game against Bama, Georgia was the most, and we were saying it all season long. Georgia's the best team in the country. And again, out of the 2 games that night on there, the 4 teams on there, Georgia was the best team out of 4.
Yep.
Because Bama didn't play that great, even though they beat up Cincinnati. They weren't all that great. They didn't impress me a whole lot. Georgia impressed the shit out of me because they had a great game plan. They schemed towards basically making sure you've got a lot on tackle and either a tight end or a running back to cover Hutchinson. And their linebackers were way too damn fast. We couldn't get anything going. No matter where there's a play. Boom, boom. There's a linebacker waiting for you.
All right.
We couldn't get to the second level. We could not on there with it. And we lost on it. Unless Nick has another game plan and basically on there, but maybe I think Georgia might win this damn national championship. Because again, I think they're going to basically just come out there and Bama doesn't. They can't. They don't have the firepower they have, especially when Minchie's out on there. You got Williams on there. Yeah, double cover him and cover the. You know what? Stop the run.
All right.
But if Georgia plays like they did Friday night, they're beating Bama.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes I wonder how much of that victory was coaching and scheme and mismatch. Exploiting mismatches and all that stuff.
I think it was everything.
Yeah,
I think it was the whole...
So I don't know how Georgia all of a sudden figures it out the other way, right? Because now you have to not only stop the fact that they've exploited all those things, you have to now flip it the other way, where you're exploiting those things. And I don't know how they do that so quick, right? If they played them in week 2 or 3 of the season and then came back and this is the rematch. If the rematch wasn't 2 weeks ago.
It was a month ago.
I know it's a month ago, but how many games have they played?
They only played 1 game.
Okay, then.
We did, but Bama didn't have anything. Unless Bama knew they were going to be done and they're not going to show their cards in that, who knows?
My thing with Bama is, like I said, if you're doing the Belichickian, scheming for the opponent, it's different. It's not like you're going out and saying, we're going to do what we do, the best that we do it, and they got to stop us. and we're going to play our game, and they're going to play their game, and they're going in there going, I know what these guys do, and I know their weaknesses, and I'm going to do it that way because this isn't the best Bama team they've had.
No.
And I want to say that Georgia game was one of the better coaching jobs by Saban. And so how much of that can you defeat, like, in just essentially only having one more game? It's not like you spent the last month scheming for them. You were worried about Michigan.
Right.
So you can even get to that rematch.
Right.
So it's not like that. I mean, unless you thought you were going to blow Michigan out and you were that confident and you were already thinking ahead to Bama. But, I mean.
Well, who knows? All I know is just most of the, again, the bowl games were kind of duds on there. Yeah, State came back and won the Peach Bowl, which was, nice comeback win the fourth. But, dude, come on, guys. You barely beat this third-string quarterback.
Yeah,
if Patty doesn't get knocked out on that touchdown run under, I don't know if they beat Pittsburgh.
Right.
Yeah, you came back one. But I'll tell you one thing on there, the most entertaining game of the entire weekend on there, and again, the most entertaining game in probably a couple of years on whether pro or college, was that Rose Bowl. It was, I didn't have a horse in either one on there. I didn't care who won, whatever. Yeah, I was kind of like, it'd be nice to see Utah beat Ohio State because I don't like Ohio State, but I just watched it as just a fan of football, and wow. Just wow. I mean, Utah gave everything they got and went right down to the damn wire there with it. But, I mean, they played great and everything. But C.J. Stroud, and again, they bring in the two freshmen on there who basically played like 5 plays all season, come in there, and they don't even miss a beat. Stroud's just throwing like 50-yard. I mean, he had literally five or six passes of 50 yards.
Nice.
He had 500-something yards passing in that game.
That's insane.
Smith Najib had 340 yards receiving. Dude, they couldn't stop him. But they were doing good coverage, but he's just dropping bombs at 50 yards, and they're just like, oh, yeah, you got the coverage on the inside. All right, we're just going to throw it along the sideline, and then boom, he's just going to pull it in one-handed.
Yeah, I admittedly didn't catch that game, but I did catch highlights, and we were talking about it a little bit in the pregame, and yeah, see, that's...
And there is still not a better venue in all of football than the Rose Bowl at dusk.
Yeah, no, that's the one
where
thing.
The weather is perfect,
Sure.
The sun's shining, you see the sun setting over the San Gabriel Mountains. It just, wow.
No, I'm with you on the Rose Bowl situation. That's why we need to have this expansion come into play, because then the Rose Bowl will be one of those games.
Yes.
And then you can make all these bowls that didn't matter.
Right.
And then you can hopefully, all this whining about these guys that are opting out. Some guys won't. Maybe you'll have a little less of that. You're still going to have people making business decisions. Don't get it twisted. But maybe you have a little bit less of that if your team.
If you have more teams in the playoffs, you're going to have less guys opt out, whatever. With it, and I don't blame. I don't blame guys opting out. I didn't blame Kenneth Walker for opting out of the Peach Bowl. Right. I didn't opt out. Get mad at Kenny Pickens opting out of the Peach Bowl either, or the two receivers from Ohio State. Hell, you got business decisions to make.
Yeah.
These guys are all first-round draft picks, dude. You know what? There's a huge discrepancy, first-round draft pick to a third-round draft pick for money-wise.
Well, see, and now this conversation is going to change over the next couple of years.
Well, you're going to see the NIL deals going on. You're going to get some more money in out there, and there might be stipulations. Listen, you're going to have to play that bowl game on there, too, if you want to get the full bonus of this.
Well, and this is my take on it. And even if that doesn't happen, the public is not going to. It's not going to end well for you. If you're being paid, I could be a first-round draft pick. Yes, but you got paid millions of dollars to go to school.
Right.
So, you've got money. You should have managed it, and you should have insurance as well. So, you can play one more game because it's a bowl game for the people that pay you. And the fact, and just the public perception, I think you'll have a negative reaction. You know how people are again when it comes to players and stuff like that. Like owners and universities can make billions, but a minute a player.
Would you hear
does.
how much? Because Texas A&M had the #1 recruited class in the country. That you hear how much they're talking is how much this is because A&M is all in bed with the NIL deals under.
Sure.
How much this is costing A&M for this $20 to $25 million for this recruiting class. Because they're getting, if you're a skill position player, boom, here's $250,000.
That's so insane to me. But this is
the future on there.
Yeah,
you know what? You got that. You open it up on there, so you're gonna have to embrace the new world order there.
Well, the thing that is so crazy is it's gonna get to the point where, like, yeah, cats are gonna stay in college all 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, why am I gonna? I can get the name and likeness. Who knows if I'm gonna make that kind of money in the NFL?
You sign again, and you watch out your NIL deals. If you better read into it, because if you sign and go, man, I'm not getting any playing time. I want to transfer out. That money may not be transferring over with you.
Oh, most of the time
not.
It's not. Yeah, most likely it's not. Your name and likeness deal. Yeah, that's all.
That's all tied to the university that you originally signed with.
Well, that's how it's going to work. That's how the university is going to gain control back, right? Like that's how the NCAA is going to just let it roll because, you don't want these kids. I mean, they already got the portal and everything else that they got going on. So, like, yeah, they don't want to give them. They're not going to give them an inch. So after all this. So yeah, that's gonna be
better. Embrace the portal, embrace the NIL deals because again, you to be again for like a Big Ten school on it. You want to compete with the SEC schools on it. You better get some NIL deals going there. It's getting into everybody coming in and going after the transfer portal. 5 to 6 kids every year if you want to keep up with the SEC.
All right,
because that's the way it is. It's just, again, hate to break it to you, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
If you're not embracing it, then you're going to be left behind.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And, like, I don't have a problem with cats. The only issue I really have is, is when the universities start influencing the NIL deals. Because, like, to me, I get a contract with Nike because of my thing, then that's on me and Nike. So I just don't know. I think the universities are going to get involved.
Well, that's all like with Jackson State and that kid out there, his deal, and that's all because of Dion and his deal he's got with Barstool.
Right. Sure.
So when he goes to Florida State, guess who's following him with him? That kid.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be the thing. If the coaches are bringing the name and likeness in, then that changes the game. Well, you know what it does? Now it brings in guys that aren't even really coaches to be coaches.
Right.
Because now if you can bring in that kind of fucking NIL money and draw talent to the university, then they'll just...
You'll get gigs on it.
Yeah, you'll get a job.
Yeah, fine. As long as you got a good coordinators and on your position coaches, you'll be fine.
All right.
You're just there to manage egos and basically just be a figurehead. Then,
I wonder how that works, though, because if you're an employee of the university, what stops, like, the athletic director from, maybe you'll hire an athletic director that's got pull, like a celebrity athletic director that can just get money.
I mean, you could do that. I mean, most of your, like, a lot of times your athletic directors are just some fucking huge, successful alumni that basically is coming back into the fold there. And It's been successful in business and obviously athletics and all that, and they go from there.
So then, so you just hire
They're all about I mean, come on. When Don Canham was at Michigan, it was all about marketing. He was a marketing guru.
Sure.
Yeah, he was an alumni, and he was on there with it. And I think alumni there and was in the athletic one, but he was basically a businessman, and that's where you saw the Michigan brand name, the whole marketing of the Michigan name.
Right.
I mean, for better part of a half century, it's still the marketing. I mean, Michigan's still a pole in marketing. Now, they're not what they were 30 years ago.
Sure.
On there, but they're still a brand name for business-wise, and you still have the largest alumni base in the damn world.
What if you... See, my whole thing is, if you start having like athletic directors or whatever, somebody within the university that has a job that just pulls in NIL contracts, then that's what it's going to be about. Like why? And then it's like having a contract with the university almost. Like
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more to it because you're going to have the non-revenue sports, so you still got to figure out how
Sure.
to balance work out the budgets and making sure the non-revenue sports
I-
are still taken care of. Because you still have the whole thing with Title IX. You still, even though you're having this NIL deals, you still have to have equal scholarships for men and women there because of Title IX. So there's a little bit, but you still have again, you can have an assistant athletic director that just handles NIL deals and do that aspect with it, or have the assistant guy do it and just have the figurehead to handle it.
See that I have an issue with. See, I don't mind the players making money off their name and likeness and all that stuff, but I do have a problem with guys with it being you have somebody that comes in and does all that and works. No, dude, that's you get an agent, you do your own thing, you figure it out. Like right. I don't want somebody in the university. Now you're paying that person. So now the person that recruited all that and did all that work, the university, he wants more money. The university lets him go, or another university offers him more money or whatever. And he leaves and takes the NIL deals with him. Like, or they have a clause in the contract that stuff stays here. Like I don't think any of that stuff was thought out, and that's the issue with the name and likeness situation. Right. I have no problem, but I don't think that anybody employed by the university in any way, shape, or form should be able to influence or collect NIL deals.
Per se, and I agree with that. I don't think they're allowed to per se on that, but they may basically use that.
It sounds like they are. Like if you go to Texas, they'll just drop $50,000 in your account.
Right, which is I don't understand it. I didn't think the universities were allowed to orchestrate the NIL deals with the recruits on there ahead of time. I didn't think it had to be. I thought you couldn't be under an institutional control of these NIL deals. So I don't know what's the story here on
so that's kind of where I have
you
the
got
issue.
Texas A&M and so forth with it.
Yeah, because that's the issue to me. Because if you're doing something and you're generating, popularity and clicks and money and all these different things that you can make, that you should be getting paid for, then I get all that. And I get that the university makes a shit ton of money off your name and likeness. And I can understand where they would give stipends and stuff like that based on that potentially. But I don't know how that would be regulated. And then that's.
I think Texas it's more of a stipend. It's not like an NI. They're giving everybody on it out of their budget,
right?
With that, and they're giving everybody $50,000 no matter what on there to come play there. A&M, it's almost weird is too because if you're a skill position, you're making more than the non-skill position players. So I don't know how they're able to orchestrate this under the guidelines of the NIL deal.
Right. That's what I'm curious. So like I'm just kind of ignorant to it, but I just think when the universities start getting involved and I don't know, it kind of seems like now you're not doing anything. Now all you did is made it a pro setup. You didn't let these kids make their own money. Now they're negotiating with agents, with the university, just like you would with any other team in the pros.
So you're basically just bypassing the whole aspect of the student athlete. It's just basically an inexpensive farm system for the NFL. Right.
And that's what everybody's talking about that they're afraid of. And I can see that being an issue. But if there's regulations involved where, the NCAA allows a certain percentage of your athletic revenue to be used as a stipend for athletes, and they regulate that, and then everything else has to come out on their own from their outside sources, then I'm fine with that. That's what I envisioned when we talked about name and likeness before.
Right.
But now it's like, if they're going to just bastardize it and not do it right, then I see people's gripe. But so that, I don't know, I want to see how that all kind of plays out, because to me, there's just not a lot of clarity there. So, but we'll see. We'll see how all that plays out. But I mean, you got all that going on, and then you're going to have the expansion of the playoffs and the NCAA is just got their hands full with all this stuff that's going on. So I don't know. Whatever.
So we got that. We got Aaron Rodgers getting all bitchy about Hub Arkush, who's the Chicago sportscaster analysis and executive editor of Pro Football Weekly, who basically says is he would not vote for Aaron Rodgers for the MVP of the Packers because he's the biggest jerk in the league. Basically, Rodgers goes, he's a freaking bum.
Who said that?
Rodgers called him a bum after Arkish said I would not vote for Rodgers because he's the biggest jerk in the league.
Well, he kind of is.
He is a douche.
He's such a douche. He's a good quarterback, so he's allowed to be a douche.
Yes. Whereas the talent level's way outweighing the bullshit factor.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't cause a whole lot of bullshit. Like he's just a douche. But eventually he's not going to be so good, and eventually people are just going to get sick of being around a douchebag, and he'll be gone. But
does he go back to Green Bay next year, or you think he's out?
I think he goes back. I think
Green Bay says they want to have him come back. Obviously, you got the number one seed again, and you're the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, the NFC. And
he's like, where are you going to go and have that same?
It all depends on too is where Devontae Adams goes, and
right.
So,
well, like I said, I don't think he goes anywhere. I think you got some cats. I think it'll be fairly uneventful, other than some cats will have to make some decisions on guys they have, but I don't know. I mean, the only one over there in Seattle is do they deal him to like New Orleans or something like that, or do they get rid of Carroll? Like
they may have to get rid of Carroll, and they may just have to tear it down and just do a full rebuild.
Yeah, I mean,
this has been something that's been
sure
on there it's been a while coming on there. They've drafted terribly for years.
Yeah.
They have not addressed the issues at all about the offensive line ever.
No, that's true.
And as great as he was, they haven't won a Super Bowl since Marshawn Lynch left.
No.
They haven't been to a Super Bowl. They haven't been a real legitimate Super Bowl contender since Marshawn Lynch left.
No.
As good as Russell Wilson is.
I could argue that your boy Pete Carroll cost him that Super Bowl.
Oh, of course he cost him that Super Bowl because they couldn't stop Marshawn Lynch that entire Super Bowl.
I know.
You're on the 2, dude. Just hand the ball off to him. You get the touchdown. You win the game.
Yeah.
No, you pass it. They knew you were going to pass it, and they jumped the route, and boom.
Yep.
Oh, with it. And again, where does Russell go? I mean, again...
Like I said, I don't know if he. Yeah, I mean, I guess
does he go to New Orleans? I mean, New Orleans would be the on here, or again, they're talking New Orleans, Pittsburgh, the Giants.
I don't see you go to the Giants. Pittsburgh would be an organization I'd work for.
Yeah.
The Saints is, you got a coach I'd want to be coached by.
And you've got some offense. You've got a great offensive line to keep you protected.
Right.
Michael Thomas will be back next year. They're going to add on another receiver. Trust me. They've got a great defense, and they've got one of the most dynamic running backs in the league.
Right.
You have an offensive genius play calling with Sean Payton.
They won games with Taysom Hill.
Right.
I mean, what's going to happen when Russ
They're
gets out
in
there?
their playoff hunts with Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian quarterbacking right now. I mean, come on.
I know.
Yeah, you lost with Ian Book, but dude, he's your fourth string quarterback. He was like basically looking for a job, working at the post office or something. We said, "Hey, you want a quarterback this week?" Okay. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And they had their COVID issues too, and now it wasn't like a crazy outbreak. But you lose a guy here, you lose a guy there, and they still find a way to win. So
if I'm Russell, I want to go to New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's probably the best
Weather's
option.
not bad. You're playing indoors.
Right. Just
your fan base is fever pitched.
Definitely. I just think it's a better situation. I mean, where else would you go where it's even close?
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh, their offensive line's a train wreck.
I mean, I wouldn't mind going to Pittsburgh because it's an organization that's,
and they'll address the offensive line. They've got a great defense. Yeah. You've got some talented receivers. You've got a nice young running back. But there again, you've got a good coach on there.
Yeah.
again, a great organization for the better part of 50 years.
Sure. So it's one of those two spots for me out of all.
I'm
the
not
ones
going
I've
to New
heard.
York because that's a dumpster fire.
No way. No way. Yeah, that place is more than a dumpster
If
fire.
Aaron goes in, he's going to retire. He's not going anywhere else. He'll just retire.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that's why I don't think.
If Green Bay wins the Super Bowl, he's done. He's walking off in the sunset.
I don't know about that with Ron. Maybe. I don't know. He seems so pompous that he just like come back and then if it gets shitty, he just take his ball and go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, but I feel like as long he's one of those cats that as long as he's on top, then he's fine. So, and as long as he's being talked about, he's fine.
Yeah.
But the minute he's not being talked about, he's not being, made out to be some like malevolent fucking creature of whatever, then he gets upset.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
again, like if I'm a guy that's looking for a head coaching because Nagy's dead man walking, I have a feeling they'll fire him at 11:38 a.m. on Monday morning,
Yeah.
if not sooner. Because I mean, there's no way they're keeping him.
No.
And again, if I'm a coach, I don't know if I want to go to the Bears. They're a train wreck of an organization.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like all the good organizations have good coaches, keep them around, tenured, and
Yeah, Giants are a train wreck of an organization right now.
Yep.
I mean, the Lions suck, but Jesus, you almost feel like the Lions actually might be in a better situation.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
we'll just
not
see what. Let's see what they can do with this offseason on there because they do have cap space. They've got 2 first-round draft picks, so we'll see what happens there.
They will do shite.
But Cincinnati winning their first division in 30 years.
Right. Yeah. They look good though doing it.
Dude.
Like down this stretch.
Oh yeah,
It's been-
JoJo is. I mean, you're going to come down to it, and it's going to come down to battling out who's the best quarterback out of the draft, and whether it's going to be JoJo or it's going to be Justin Herbert. Who's going to be the best quarterback?
Yeah.
out of
Well,
that
we
draft.
said that early. We
We
right?
love JoJo right off the bat.
Yeah.
And we're like, and the way you look at Herbert, you go, oh,
He's
shit,
got
man,
those
I don't know.
flashes, It was just a matter of could he get it under control. So for me, yep, just stay with the consistency.
Yes.
That's the key to me. Like,
And don't ever judge a player on preseason because preseason don't mean shit.
oh, dude, who said that? Like,
Well, they were talking about Jamar Chase all preseason. Remember, he couldn't catch the ball, and he's dropping the ball, and dude, and then he goes off.
anytime you're making an evaluation based on preseason, dude, you're just talking to talk.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not. Look, they're evaluating other players,
Right.
Like not the ones you're watching.
No.
they're not worried about those guys.
We're not worried about a first-round draft pick
right.
on there.
No, you're looking at in these preseason games. You're looking at all these guys that are fringe players and cats that will be on the practice squad and will be they won't even. Most of the guys that they're watching aren't making the team. So they're not doing what they're doing normally. They're doing shit so that they can see what these other guys have, so that they know if they got especially this year with COVID and all the different things going on, you're pulling players from everywhere. So they've got to be more diligent about what these other guys. So they're not even watching they're not watching those guys. Why am I watching a 7-year vet who's killing it year in and year out and is in the MVP talks? Or why would I be talking to a guy that's been here 5 years and for the 5 years he's been a contender for some record yardage or whatever? Like, why would I? No, you're not talking to any of those. I got a first-round draft pick that had an outstanding college. He's been killing it in practice. I'm not really worried about that.
I'm worried about that 5th rounder or 6th rounder. I take and see what they could do out there with it. And I agree with you on it. And again, you look onto it now. We're looking on there with Jamar Chase and JoJo and Justin Jefferson and going, man, that LSU national championship team was really freaking good.
It's insane. Yeah.
You look under. I mean, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase on their back-to-back receivers coming out there, and the numbers they're putting up, it's like, holy crap.
Okay, so I'm not predicting anything this year, but if Cincinnati wins a Super Bowl with Burrows, does he recreate the cigar shot. He fucking better.
Yeah, right, he does. You know, if he doesn't, I'm going to be seriously disappointed. Dude, you better have a cigar, and it better be a freaking Cuban cigar, and you're in Cincinnati. You're literally 2 hours away from Louisville. Somebody better be going up there with a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, 15-year-old, and say, here you go, buddy. Light up that Cuban, pour some damn, 15-year-old, like, premium bourbon. It's like $1,000 a bottle, and sit there sipping on that and say, yeah, who's got it better? Nobody. Because JoJo wins a Super Bowl, they will build a statue in him. They'll say, Boomer who?
Yeah.
Kenny Anderson who?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo will own that town.
Yeah, in Cincinnati, no doubt. No, so, yeah, like I said, I'm not predicting anything this year, but, I mean, how can you not see anything but good stuff out of this guy?
I mean, you look on that receiving core that they have with him and, Jamar and T. Higgins, and you go, damn, that's freaking Tyler Boyd.
Right.
And you got Joe Mixon. I mean, that team is just, they are based, and they did revamp the offensive line a little bit in free hit, but they're going to add on another offensive lineman and another defensive end under. That team's going to be really good for a while.
Yeah. Yep. So they got a chance.
Now they hit it right where Cleveland's looking like, oh, we may not be keeping Baker. He may be gone. I'm like, okay, well, good luck drafting a quarterback this year.
Right. Well, like Baker is who Baker is.
Baker's who we thought he was.
Yeah, I love his moxie. I love all these things, but like he's just not gonna be like this great leader of men. And if you don't have all the right things around him, you're just gonna have issues. I mean, he's just got limitations. He can be a great like spark plug, and he could do all these wild and crazy improv things when stuff happens and breaks down and does whatever and all that. But like, he's not a guy that carries.
No,
he's not going to carry that team. So like, if that's the way you're going to build this team.
He is not going to be a Justin Herbert. Again, Herbert's 6'7", but he's not going to be a JoJo.
No.
He's not going to be that. He's just not going to be that type of.
You can't get sacked 9 times a game.
No.
You can't keep doing this to the guy, like, and expect him to be successful, whatever you think of him, whether you like him. I mean, he's got to have surgery on his non-throwing shoulder. Why do you think that is? Because he fucking lands on it all the time.
Right, because he's getting killed.
He's getting destroyed out there. I doubt. I highly, and like I would defend. Let's be real. Like I want to defend any Ohio anything here, being Michigan fans. I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan by any stretch of the imagination. I liked Baker in college because I thought he was a perfect college quarterback. Just that. Moxie and the craziness and all that. I just thought that was perfect for college. Now the question was how it played in the pros, and he's kind of adjusted a little, but once again, the guy is just out there getting annihilated
because their interior line is terrible,
and it's just. If they can't figure that out and get that thing, then it doesn't matter even who you plug in there. Really, I mean, you're just going to go through the gamut of quarterbacks.
Instead of just keep Baker. You're under contract for another year. Keep him another year,
right?
And address the interior line there. Get a damn guard in or center there to protect him because you addressed the tackles, with Conklin and with Worth. So you've got some decent tackles there. You've got a great running game, but you do not have an interior line.
It's the weirdest thing.
And they don't really have the receivers to basically bail them out.
Well, and he doesn't have that athleticism either, right? Like they've got him set up so if he runs outside and throws on the run and all these kinds of things that like that's not necessarily what you want him to be doing. It's not.
No, you don't want on there. No, you got to protect him on there.
Yeah, so I just don't. It just feels weird to me, and maybe some of that's on Baker. Maybe if we were watching the tape, you're seeing him hold the ball longer than he should be. But I just kind of get the vibe that, he's just. He's not. I don't know if it's a scheme thing. I don't know if it's a play calling situation. If maybe the receivers can't get downfield fast enough, and he's forced to hold that ball longer, and he's getting these sacks.
The receivers don't get separation on it, so he's got to hold it for longer than he wants to, till they hopefully can get open to throw it. And that's his problem. He doesn't have an alpha dog receiver.
Sure.
I mean, Odell Beckham is not the alpha dog in L.A. plain and simple.
No.
He knows that too right now.
Right. Oh,
It's
no.
Cooper. It's Cooper's game on
it's Cup all
Cooper's
the-
on there
yeah,
and on
yeah.
there. You're there to help out, and I think he's kind of accepted. Like, and plus you've got an alpha dog with a head coach and a quarterback there who's been there on it with Stafford. So he's kind of like, okay, I'll keep quiet. I'll do what I got to do here. Hopefully we can get a Super Bowl. I can have a great postseason and get another gig some down the line because he's not the long-term answer either with LA and that. But yeah, I mean, it's just like they don't have that on it, right? But you look at Cincinnati it's like, dude, they got possibly the best receiving core in the league,
Right.
with those three.
Yeah. And you got a guy that can get him the ball.
And you got a running game too.
Right. So,
So
yeah, there are two teams going in two different directions, it feels like,
yeah.
you know.
And then again, we got our Lions who got hosed out by on here, but actually, you know what?
It is what it is. At this
It is
point.
what it is. You know what? We drafted, we hit it well with Penny Sewell. He looks pretty good. The two defensive, linemen there, the interior linemen are actually coming along. But I'm on St. Brown. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, 4th rounder, man, is balling.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no,
He's going to be a good. What it is he's not going to be an outside guy. He's going to be he's definitely going to be a slot guy out there. But I like the fact under he is a physical interior, smaller. He's not that small. He's 6 foot, like 200 pounds. But he's a physical receiver for his size
Sure.
point on there.
Well, like a Steve Smith type, right?
A Steve Smith, a Heinz Ward type
Right.
receiver
there you
out
go.
there.
I like the Heinz Ward probably better.
Because he will block too as well on there. But
Sure.
I like that. They're like, all right, when was the last time we hit a 4th rounder receiver that actually showed some promise?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. To me, it's easy to shine when there's nothing else around you, right?
Right.
If you throw a diamond into a turd, it just stands out. Like, it doesn't even have to be real. It could be a cubic zirconia, and you throw it in a turd, and that sucker's gonna bling. So
He's he's asked to be the number 1 receiver, and what he's not, but he's actually doing pretty good on there. And I do like the offensive line. I think Sewell and Decker, especially next year, and when you'll have Ragnow back, I think the offensive line will be better, and they're going to definitely address a pass rusher and a linebacker and another receiver. So you're going to definitely have a bigger. And again, if they get the St. Brown's teammate there with the USC, a big 6'5", 210-pound receiver who can jump ball. I mean, that's what they need there. And if Josh Reynolds comes back, they'll be better off on there. But we'll see on
Sure.
there. But the secondary is still terrible. And on there. But you know what is? We've got a kicker. I mean, again, the guy hasn't missed since he came here.
well, we'll take it at this point.
On there. The last
Small
time we hit on
victories.
there. So again, I mean,
Whatever.
the Lions have had a success for 40 years of at least kickers.
Yeah.
Granted, you had Eddie Murray for 15 years, and you had Jason Hansen for 20, and then for 7 you had Prater. So I mean, you get lucky there.
Yeah, I will say that Detroit has there are like positive points to draw from.
Yes.
But
Don't get too excited.
Yeah, I
No.
mean it's still the same old mess that it was before. So let's build on it.
Yeah.
you got a couple of things.
I feel better
that are
than I
pretty
did
positive.
like last year or during the whole Quintricia regime. Little, at least from the general manager aspect.
If I look at
Which doesn't take. I'm not saying it's
Sure.
Lisa Bonnet. It's just that was a disaster in the making.
if I isolate just what we got out of the draft last year, because that's really the only thing I can go by, right? Like, what else has the GM done that I can visibly see, other than the coaching staff and the draft, and then they just kind of have a say, right? Like, it's not necessarily going to be who they're going to get. So I mainly look at the draft, and I can say, yes, unequivocally they've done better, but you kind of had nothing to flub you up.
right. I mean,
Like,
when
there's
you're
no-
hot garbage on there, but there's
like-
only one way to go but up.
Well, and there's part of that, and then like what else were you drafting?
Because there's so many holes. So you
Right.
just trying to grab the best guy there.
So,
because
like,
we got
yeah.
hole here, hole there, hole here.
The only thing that they could have done would have been if they like millined this thing and like reached for like a wide receiver at like for a tight end again at 2 or some dumb shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you get the number 1 overall pick and you take, a a slot receiver from a.
Yeah, thank God for
a
Atlanta
MAC
taking
school.
Kyle Pitts, because we would have screwed that up and took him too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just one of those things.
But I think I almost think is they wanted Sewell from the beginning, and as soon as they fell to him, they couldn't wait to run up there on it. So it's like the reverse of when we could have had DeCastro. We take Riley Reef.
Right.
It's like,
huh?
And Pittsburgh runs up there and gets DeCastro on that with it. And again, we go there. Jacksonville's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. And that's going to be an interesting
Who
job
goes
search.
there?
Sure.
Carolina's a dumpster fire
Yep.
with it.
So, well,
I see Jalen Hurt help the people out there. Did basically the whole side that you see that railing that collapsed.
oh, I heard about it. Yeah, that was crazy. So, all right. So we got that. We've got NFL pick'ems. Let's. What else do we got?
We got a little bit of. We'll get
NBA?
a little bit of NBA action
Yeah.
going on. We'll get into that. We'll get into some idiots out there that basically couldn't handle high school or middle school basketball and had to go up there and assault refs.
Oh, Jesus.
Two times, one in Kentucky and one in
Really?
Washington State.
I can't believe that stuff's still happening in this day and age.
What was a Republican state representative?
It's just so nuts, dude. I know how it was when I was coaching rec league 6th grade girls basketball, and it was like you had parents even there, even like when they were like elementary school soccer, you had parents there. I'm like, the hell is wrong with you?
Oh yeah, you saw it there. And,
Like they're not gonna get how this works if that's the way you act.
right.
Oh, anyway.
We'll get into that. We'll get on to that. We got NHL on there going into it as well. We'll get back here and lots more on the flip side. We are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. The listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
Taking over this broadcast for the ultimate underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio 57 Records. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390, or log on to studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
All right, breaking down pro wrestling here in the downtime in our little halftime here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we are back on Facebook, YouTube, and we are rocking this thing. Hour 2 of DSR2. I am Scrappy. Here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for the second hour here of our first show of 2022 on here. So hopefully
And it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have Facebook zuck us.
Yeah, of course not.
So at least we're back up and running.
That's right.
now.
We're back up and running. Again, we got YouTube running anyway, so don't worry about that. Go over there if you have to.
I was going to say, that's always an alternative for you. Go to YouTube. If you're not sure, just go to studio57radio.com. Everything's all linked up and set up there. You could get to those channels. We'll always have it archived on our other podcast platforms, so you can catch it tomorrow or whatever if you have to. And then, of course, if we have those kind of debacles, I'll try to put the links out on social media so you don't have to search or anything. So I do apologize for that. But, you know, that's how things go sometimes. It's just –
yeah.
And for me today – everything. I've been on the struggle bus all day, dude. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. I thought I stepped out onto my hardwood floor, but I stepped right into the struggle bus, and it's been like I've been in that son of a bitch I can't get out of it. I can't get out of the fucking thing.
I know those days on there. I've had them. We've all had them, and just like, God,
I don't. You know, yeah.
I said to hell with it. I
So-
was working from home today, everything with it, and it's now tomorrow I got to work late because I got the day job getting away. So we'll see what happens there, but everything's working out. But yeah, we're the first of the year on there, 2022. So let's get into it. We got, as we said, we broke down a little bit of the NFL. We'll have our pick'ems here shortly, a little bit on there. And again, I'm not going to get into there's no fantasy because if you're in a league, you should have you already had your championship game last weekend. So whoever won, congratulations.
Yep.
It's been a rough one this year for everybody.
If you need a fantasy football belt, we got you covered. JW Belts.
JW Belts makes custom fantasy football. Trust me, you can get a killer belt on there, walk into your draft next year, and just look like Muhammad Ali, man.
I mean, and guys, if
Get your entourage beating the bongos. The king's here.
and we've got them spewed all across the fucking studio in here, but these belts now are. You know, we've upped our game over the years here at J-Dubs, so they're just they're nice cats. I didn't even know we're into belts. Are like, dude, I'm not even into that shit, and I want one of those. That's dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantasy football. I've been getting hit up a lot already, and it's like, whoa, you're doing this now? It's like. It's like yikes. It's a little late in the season, but if you want it for, you know, we'll still take the orders.
Yeah, we'll take
Get
the
it ready,
orders,
and
and
then you'll have it next year.
you'll have it before the draft next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll be able to show that son of a bitch. Although I just went in there and cut 14 straps. That's how many belts I got back there. And you see, I got I got that bright green one up there, and I got rid of. I have 2 others that already went out, and then I got 2 little ones that I did that are right in here. They're just in the case because it's safer. And then I've got 14 other full size and like 6 other little ones. That's crazy, but
You have to get your new plate there for Tip Up Town 2022.
I know I'm gonna have to. Yeah, so it's like belts everywhere. So yeah, if you're doing the fantasy sports thing, even with your basketball season, if you're doing fantasy basketball and hockey and all that, we'll do it all. So
baseball season's just around the corner.
Yep. So you can be doing that. So yeah, think about us for any trophy situation, because championship belts make trophies look like doo doo.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I might buy into the championship ring gimmick because some of those are really nice, but maybe.
Yeah, we got those
because the belts are just too.
We
too
got
sweet.
that. We got the rings for my daughter. We went to the nationals and we came in 3rd for our age bracket and for that region because we were in the Louisville region, so we came in 3rd. So we got rings and it says nationals on there.
Those are cool,
which was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids liked them. I mean, they weren't size or anything, but they were pretty on it. But they were nice. They were nice Balfour rings, so they were decent rings. So
no, they even some of these like lesser known, mass produced, like, you know, replica ring maker guys, they even make good stuff now because like the technology to make and etch and do things, it's pretty affordable if you've got the infrastructure to go. Like
Yes.
it's not like it was, 20 years ago, 30 years ago when we were in high school, and our high school rings were like $800 or whatever the stupid prices they had for those rings back in the day. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean? And then now you can get them for pretty affordable price, or you can spend a few bucks and get something really nice.
These were decent on there for the kids. Were all happy about that. And they
That's
liked it.
too
Of
cool.
course,
those are
the girls
Like I
all
said,
put
those
it.
are the only other ones I'll
Yeah,
accept,
of course, none of them fit on there, but of course they
Yeah.
just put it on the top of their middle finger and flipped everybody. Flipped the pictures for flipping the bird. Look at us, we got.
They're all flopping and hanging over.
Yeah,
Who
on there,
cares?
but they had no business winning, taking third, and we took third overall. So we were super happy about that. So with that, but yeah, we got NBA action going on there with it. So much for the Pistons winning 3 in a row on there. They got smoked tonight by Charlotte, 140 to 111. No defense.
Yeah, right.
So, but we beat Milwaukee under. So yeah, we got right now is obviously Golden State on there. The Eastern Conference, the Bulls have been hot lately on there. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're top. They got a 2-game lead on top of the Eastern Conference. So Brooklyn and then the Bucks. I mean on there with it. And of course our Pistons are second to last in the East.
Yeah. They're just it's just been one of those disappointing things where it's like there are moments and highlights and things you can point at that you like, but they're not making progress, and that's where it gets frustrating. So I don't know how long you can continue to kind of just tread water like 3 feet below the surface, because that's what it feels like they're doing.
Sure feels like that.
And how long you could do that and actually survive. I just don't think you can. So that's going to be the issue. What do they do going forward? Because this is already a wash season as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. The last couple games is even though Grant's been out, Sadiq Bey seems to have discovered his shooting touch on there. What was it? Had 10 threes last night, 34 points.
Sure.
I mean, so that's under Cade's doing Cade stuff on there. So
Yeah.
We'll look.
Like
what
I said,
happens.
there's things you can point at.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't feel like
we're small.
Right.
We have no interior whatsoever.
Right. But when you look at some of these other teams, they still win games, right? Like they can be small, they can have interior issues, they can have nobody on the roster, they can have injuries, they can have all that stuff and still win games. And that's not what's happening in Detroit. And you're in the East, and that's what I don't get.
Yeah.
You should be winning some. You should be stealing some games against some of these less just lower end talent. Like they're not that you're better per se than some of these other teams, but you should still. You play so many games. You should steal wins. Like you should win games. Like you're in a bad conference. You should win games. You shouldn't have flipping 4 wins on the season or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's more than that, I think, but not much. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know. Like I said, there are things that I like, but dude, see, she's so green. That was so horrible. I'm sorry. So I just, I don't know. I like to see progress. Like I want to see them doing things that, win games, hustling and scrambling and getting, who's the guy that just comes out and does the dirty shit? Like where,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
We don't have a Mahorn or a Lamb.
where is that guy? So there's just a lot of stuff that I think you should be able to have, and you should be able to see, even if you're a little bit devoid of talent at the moment.
Right. We're definitely missing that on there for say on that. With it, definitely on there. But you look at there with the Pistons out there, it's on there. And the Lakers, I mean, they made a big deal. So, oh my God, Russell Westbrook had his first game without a turnover, and I'm thinking, who cares? I mean, I'm tired of hearing about the Lakers. Dude, they're in 7th place in the West. They're literally a game from not being in the playoffs.
All right.
And we've been saying that all season.
Yeah.
And we said that before that. This team is going to struggle to get to the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Gold State's on there. Again, wait till Clay gets his feet back on there because, again, the way Wiggins has been playing and Poole's been playing and obviously Steph. I mean, and, Draymond. I mean, it's just Gold State's, man, just the best damn. I mean, they got so many guys that could just go off scoring.
Yep. They're gonna be the team to watch. I think they're just entertaining too. I mean, that's a big part of it. Okay, like at least hold the belt like a human being. Come on, it's no one's shoulder. There you go. Good job. It's like, wait a minute. Someone needs to show her how to hold that thing. She's too much of a beast out there. I mean, not holding that belt the right way, looking like a goof. Told you she'd win.
Yeah,
it's too easy. I like this chick because now she's a heel bitch, and she's been like a baby face for years, decades maybe.
Now she's a heel. Yeah,
now
I always like the heels.
I love it. She reminds me. She's not like Scary Sherry like heel, like freaking out, but she's got like this new swag to her, and she wore the Bret the Hitman Hart gimmick, and I just like her attitude. I like the heels better. I'm like you. I just whatever.
The heels are always better.
They're more fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
They're
always
more fun. I mean, there's some babyface guys that I like, that are I find entertaining, but whatever. Anyway, back to regular sports.
Heels are just more personality.
Yeah, because there's certain things you can say and do because you're a bad guy, right? Like that's the whole thing, and so that turns into being more entertaining than being like, golly gee and all that nonsense.
Yes. So we got that on. We got again hockey going on right now. Everybody's back to playing for the most part. Obviously, as the teams are not going to be going over to for the Olympics and that. We had the Winter Classic in Minneapolis. It was 9 below zero. Actual temperature, not wind chill. Actual temperature for the game during the game. It got down. I think it was 4 below at the first for the start of the game, and I think it got down to 9 below on there. So it was the coldest game in NHL history outside. I think they were the only on the Heritage Classic, which was the one game in Edmonton and Montreal. Back in the day, we're talking almost 10 years ago. Right. I think that actually might have been a little bit colder out there because that was like 10 or 12 below zero in Edmonton. Where actually they have the goalies wear knit caps on there because they were losing so much heat from their. I mean, it was that so. I mean, they were worried about the ice being so brittle because it was so flipping cold.
That's insane.
It was insane.
That
and again,
so
the same
crazy.
thing was happening in Minnesota, which again. When it's done right on there, the Winter Classic, the outdoor game, especially if the weather, on there, just like when they had when the Wings had it, and it was at Michigan Stadium on there, and it started snowing, and it was like 20 degrees, and it kept snowing and snowing and snowing, and then they had to come clean the ice off like multiple times because there was so much. I mean, we got literally a foot of snow that day, which was great. I mean, just awesome to watch that, but I do like that aspect with it. And even last year at Lake Tahoe, which was cool and everything, but the day, I mean, it was cold enough, but the sun, it was perfectly blue sky, not a cloud of sky, the sun shining, and it's melting the ice.
All right.
So you have to wait till the sun went down, it got cold again, and that's okay, we can play and everything's cool in that, but oh my gosh. But yeah, there's something cool about that with there. And then the Wings last night winning on there. This team, the Wings on there, I mean, I do definitely enjoy watching them on there, as we said on there. With this team on there, they're going to fight for a playoff spot. Depends on whether they can get up to a 7th on there. But again, with hockey, if you're the 8th seed on there, you can knock out the 1st seed on there. Right now, they're battling it out there at the just outside the playoffs. They're at number 9 for the conference. So we'll see if they can do it. But at least the young guys are scoring. Larkin is definitely taking a step up this year with him and Bertuzzi on the same line. And the young guys out there on there, he's able to get a lot more. He's doing a lot more with it. So I definitely like it. So
nice.
And don't worry about, Toronto's doing their usual swoon a little bit on there. Montreal's just terrible this year. Ottawa's terrible. Montreal going to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then this year's just not the same. So,
Yeah. Well, and with all the, I hate to get into the COVID, but it's been the NHL has been pretty like forward thinking and all
Yes.
that. So I'm sure that they'll be prepared, and they seem like they're the most prepared of all the leagues, it feels like. But I think that's just kind of been wreaking havoc on a lot of these teams and a lot of this stuff because you just have guys that are in and out all the time. And it's whether it's just protocols or whatever. And now I get the whole 5-day gimmick now too. And so with the CDC, how they've kind of changed it a little bit as they're learning more. And I just think, I just don't know how this all is going to play out anyway. Like, it's just, I don't know. So the NHL, I think, is going to be the one we're going to see change the most. So I don't know. I if you're a dumpster fire, you're a dumpster fire. I don't think it matters a whole lot. But I don't know. It's an interesting. It's going to be interesting going forward because the NFL is going to try to sneak out of here. They're going to force their way through the rest of the season. But how the rest of these other two leagues, the NBA and the NHL,
I know they're
go
already
forward,
talking about
it's
if
gonna
they
be
have to move destinations for the Super Bowl. They're already reaching out, maybe going to AT&T versus SoFi.
Well, yeah, because Dallas is not going to stop or change or do anything different. They don't fucking care. So, excuse my language, and I don't, not that they should care any certain kind of way, but yeah, that's a place, that's a destination you could absolutely chalk in for a place to have the Super Bowl. It's a great venue, and they'll definitely fill the place.
Yeah,
and so, but yeah, I don't. This is my thing. I'm watching it for the halftime show this year. This will be the first time that I can't wait for the halftime show.
Oh yeah, because
it's Snoop, Dre, Eminem, a couple other guys.
Yes,
so,
definitely, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna be all about that.
Oh hell yeah!
I can't wait to see how many different like cameos and stuff pop up in there.
How many old people are like, what is this?
What's gonna happen is these kids aren't gonna know what's going on. The old people are all us now.
Yes. Well, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it.
Oh yeah, we're the old guys.
Yeah, we're at the top end of the age bracket that they're looking for the demo, right? The top end of the demo.
Yeah, anybody older than us are gonna be like, huh?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, who's this? What's this all about,
dude?
Well,
yeah, this is all about it.
Yeah, they're already not watching NFL because they're still mad about Kaepernick. Those people. That's how you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not gonna watch it, and your East Coast rappers, your New York rappers aren't gonna watch it either because they're gonna be mad because they're basically glorifying the. But it's set in California, so you got to have the West Coast guys.
Yeah. Well, they should be happy because now they can make the argument that they want to, that they want to be in on this, right? Because Hey, hip hop, they've never done it like this before. Like you've had close, like they've done who's like they had the Weeknd, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, Weeknd was last year,
yeah.
and
so that's the closest we've gotten. So we've inched our way here. You've had a couple of, because remember the whole Janet Jackson Timberlake gimmick, the wardrobe malfunction that screwed up. R&B and hip hop, and it screwed it up for years.
Right. Then you had a bunch of old fogey. I'm like, oh my god, stop! Enough! Stop!
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, then you had Beyonce, and
well, Beyonce was the one that, but she was so mainstream.
Yes,
and she brought it. I mean, she was so mainstream. She literally hit every single demo there is.
Yes,
like little kids, girls, boys. Fat, young, old, skinny, it didn't matter. Everybody knew her music. And so she was still, I argue, safe, but I mean, she is married to Jay-Z.
Right.
Like there was that element of this hip hop and this urban feel that was coming out from, so and then they gave him the kind of the balls to get into, like the weekend and start doing some of this other stuff. So now I'm glad, but this is a huge step because you're now leaving the world of R&B and hip hop, and you're going into rap.
Right. You're going
right to
old school West Coast rap.
Like this was gangster rap back in the day, right? Like this is gangster rap. We always would joke about when like gangster rap's going to be on the classic radio station, like the old school classic. It's there.
It's there. Oh yeah. I mean, now you hear like, oh yeah, Soundgarden and Pearl Jam on classic rock. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Dude, I'm not. I know.
Yep.
This is. Yep.
Yep.
I mean, the only thing would have been better on there is if Tupac was still alive, and it would have been just like, oh my god, it's like screw it. We're not. Oh yeah, we're gonna go out and smoke a cigar. Fuck that. I'm watching.
Time show. Oh yeah. I mean, if Pac's still alive and he's out there doing this stuff, I mean, you can only imagine what would be.
Oh my god, it'd be off the chain.
Yeah, but the thing is you can do a total NWA feature here.
Oh god, yes.
I mean, you only miss some Eazy-E, and you've got Eminem in there to fill.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing an NWA with Eminem filling in for Easy. I'm just saying. Maybe not. You don't even have to do Easy's part. You could just do like a song where Easy's kind of like maybe on the end or whatever, and then you do a medley and you bring out Marshall instead. Yes. Everybody's like, oh, that's where Easy would come in, but then the song cuts to another like, da-da-da-da, and then it's the Dr. Dre song with Eminem, da-da-da-da-da, and you got Snoop Dogg in the back. It's a Snoop D-O-double-G, da-da-da-da-da, and yeah. So I just,
oh my god,
they could just blow
Can you
it
imagine
out.
if they play Straight Outta Compton?
I mean. I would.
You better be quick on that buzzer, man.
I would totally play Straight Outta Compton, but I would totally tease "Fuck the Police." So that's how I would totally do it. I would start with the intro to "Fuck the Police." It'd be like, it wouldn't have.
And then you're gonna bring out Ice-T out there and go right into Cop Killer.
No, but "Fuck the Police" is what got him yanked off the stage here. So I would absolutely tease it. I would have the opening beat and then have it cut to Straight Outta Compton or something like that instead, or maybe one of their other songs that's like a little tamer and would probably you'd be able to get away with it. And I'd only do like a verse and then move on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to have, you know how it is with these halftime shows, man. You want to get all your shit
You want to get all the top on there. But there's so much, the catalog on there for, especially with Dre and
you're
Snoop
talking
and Eminem.
You're talking 30 years of catalog that they could draw from.
Shit, you could have a halftime show longer than the damn game.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, I don't expect it to be like the greatest one ever, but
it's gonna be hard because it's still Prince.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. That Prince with the Purple Rain and it raining and the whole gimmick out in the middle of the ring with the cymbal stage and the whole thing, dude. That was badass. Like I don't know what else to say, but that was total badass. So I don't. It's gonna take a lot to top that one. I don't see it happening with the current crop of musicians. Yeah. I'm not, so like if whoever outdoes that show, that performance is probably in like grade school right now. You know what I mean? I just don't see anybody out there that's got the range and skill set and talent along with the popularity, the library of music and the stage presence and like just showmanship and all the things that goes in. Like I just don't know that there's that many people that were ever created, let alone somebody that's like that currently.
No.
And so it's just like he was criminally underrated while he was alive, and if you knew what he really could do, he just did what he was having fun doing and was selling.
Right.
But like his range is amazing, and so
Bless you.
Excuse me. So yeah, so it's just I just don't know where you're going to get a performer that's like that. So to me, hopefully this just hits all the nostalgia glands, right? It's got to hit all the nostalgia buttons. I mean, there's certain songs we got to hear. There's gonna be certain things they're gonna have to do, and I just kind of want to see it. And it being the Super Bowl, I need them to put all the money into making sure that it goes well and it sounds good.
Yes.
Like whatever you got to do, if you got to put backing tracks down, so be it. Whatever the case, I want it to sound good, look good, and just be well thought out as far as a getting your shit in. Like we got onto the little pro wrestling thing at our little halftime here, Moose, and that's what you want to do. You want to take that kind of thing with it, and you want that showmanship where you're doing every move, every high spot you got, because you only got so many minutes to get it in. And so you want to get all your crap in, and that's what I want to see them do. I want to see them get 30 years of music in whatever 15 minutes or whatever it is that they got.
Yes.
Well, they get like 17 minutes or something, because they get those halftimes like 45 minutes long, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like usually, I think they come out there and they'll play like 20 minutes to a half hour, and then you figure about 45. But yeah, I mean it's a long period of time to get into it. So I'm just hoping it hits all the nostalgia buttons and gets me all feeling warm in my tummy, and then I'll be good with it. Because like I said, I don't expect it to be the greatest, but it might be one that'll mean a little something to me, because that's just the stuff I grew up on. So oh god,
yeah. So it'll just be interesting to see. So, but anyway, lots to get into before we even get into the Super Bowl. So a lot of games to be played before we get there. So that still feels like it's going to be 2 months away before they get to that game. So
yes,
but that'll be fun.
So yeah, it'll be that's one I'm going to be seriously invested in watching it. So that's for damn sure.
Hell yeah! All right, let's get into these things, Moose.
So we got no Monday night games this week, no Thursday night game this week. We do have 2 Saturday games out there. Neither of them are very good, but we still got Saturday games. So
awesome.
Last week we didn't do too bad. Actually, we did. I think we were like 10, 11 or 12 wins out of the 16. So actually, probably one of our best showings of the year.
Well, yeah, because it's been just a dumpster fire.
God, we've been
it's
terrible.
Been so brutal, man.
God, and I've been, making fun of myself too with my buddy Scott when we had our pick'em leagues on there. And he goes, "You've been terrible." I said, "You've been that bad." I said, "Dude, we've been even making fun of ourselves because we've been so terrible picking them.
So bad. Yeah. What else can you do, man? It's just, I don't know what to say. Well, you can blame the COVID, and that is a big part of it. As the cat is licking the monitor, what are you doing, Midgie? You weird, freaky cat. Anyway, cat. The cat, our mascot,
monitor
is cleaning. Apparently, she's doing some housekeeping.
So we got.
Anyway, yeah.
So we got Saturday. We got a 4:30 Saturday, January 8th. We got Kansas City on the road. They're facing Denver. KC has currently got their division wrapped up pretty much on there. Or I think if they get the win, they get the division wrapped up on there. They're a 10.5-point favorite against Denver. Denver's done. Their season's over.
Yeah.
I got KC winning this one.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to sit a lot of guys, though. So, but yeah, they'll probably still win. Yeah. It's all about the gambling, guys. If you're playing in point spreads and doing all that stuff this week, dude, at your own risk, man. I mean, unless you get some good.
You better get a matchup on there where somebody's still playing for something on there, because if you got guys that need to sit out,
you got to get in when these spreads are early. You needed to do this, early on, because they're just.
Well, when you find out guys are playing, them spreads are going to be changing. So yeah, if you could take somebody and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take so as a dog on there and get the 16-point dog," then yeah, I'll take it and go from there.
Right.
With it.
Anyway,
I got KC winning this one under.
Yep,
KC coming last week on there, losing a really great game against Cincinnati. So yep, I got KC.
Yeah, I got KC too.
All right, we got Dallas at the late game at 8:15. They're on the road to Philly. Dallas is got their division wrapped up. They pretty much got nothing to play for. I think it's just about seeding wise where they're going to be at down there.
Isn't that the case probably for both of them, isn't it? Is
Philly's not. I think Philly's. I don't think Philly's going to make it. Philly may have an outside shot, but they need everything to line on there.
Okay, that's what.
With it.
I thought it was a scenario with. Okay, yeah, I got you.
I think they're going to probably play most of their starters on it because they lost last week to Arizona. And again, Philly's terrible, so I'm going to still take Dallas.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a 5.5 point spread.
I think that's one of those ones that you could call a dog just because but it all depends on what they think they have to play for. I'm going to take Dallas. I don't feel good about it. They're going to sit everybody.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This week's going to suck. It's going to be hard.
Cincy this week, we got no Joe Mixon. He's out with COVID. JoJo says he's not playing because they got nothing to play for. They got the division wrapped up.
Right.
It doesn't matter for Cleveland because everybody's hurt and banged up and everything.
Yeah, they need to shut down Baker Mayfield. This is stupid.
He's shut down. He's having surgery. I think he had surgery today.
Oh, okay,
so
good.
He's shut down. He's done for the year.
I know they were talking about it the other day, and I'm like, what did we talk about? Why is this a debate? Like, he should have been shut down.
This is one that's since he had a 1.5 point. They're a 1.5 point dog against Cleveland on there, and
that's because they're not going to play anybody.
They're not going to play anybody.
I mean,
I'll tell you, Cincy. I mean, say Cleveland's going to win just because they got the better running game right now, but I would not touch this game.
No, I wouldn't either.
This could be either. Yeah, this is on there. All right, we got Green Bay is on the road. They're actually a dog. I think they were a dog. Now they're a favorite.
Yeah.
According to this, there was printed up there, the dog. They're a 0.5 point dog against Detroit.
Yeah.
They've got the number 1 seed wrapped up on there. They've got the division wrapped up. They got on there. Even if you're going to see Aaron play, he's probably going to be for a quarter.
Yeah, I think you're going to get some playing time out of him just because he's going to whine or cry that I need to get reps. I don't want to. He's got this belief because they rested for so long and had the bye and did all that stuff, and then they shit the bed. Was a few years when they were 14. They were like 14 and 2.
Team in each conference gets the bye this year. So.
Right. So they it's one of those things where I think he'll play up to the whole first half. And that might be enough to beat the Lions, to be honest, because who are you playing? What's the point of playing Goff or anybody?
Goff says they're probably gonna play. They're gonna just on here. This is the last game, so they'll probably play on here. Lions got the second draft pick locked up, just whether or not they can get the first. But again, really doesn't make any difference between first and second.
Well, my whole thing is if you want the number 1 pick, you're not gonna win.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. I'm gonna take Green Bay. I don't see Detroit. I mean, Detroit could win this game. They have the chance, but for why?
I'm gonna take Green Bay both on there.
Yeah.
I just don't on this. On there. All right, we got here's another game on there. That's we got what Chicago is a 3.5 point dog against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On there.
That's my
Mike Zimmer's going to get fired probably.
Right.
Nagy's going to get fired probably. Yeah. Kirk Cousins probably will be gone on there. Ugh.
Yep.
Ugh. Yeah. I just can't. Even with everything on there, I can't take the Bears.
I can't either. I still take it's Minnesota.
God, the Bears are terrible.
They are horrible.
All right, here's a game on there that has no ramifications, but we got the Washington football team, which they're going to announce their name on February 2nd, so they're going to be called the Groundhogs.
I did see that. That would be awesome. They listed like 8 different names or something like that are like
they're
in the
not going to be the Wolves or the Red Wolves. They get because there's copyright infringement, so that's off on there. I still think it's going to be Red Tails when it's all said and done.
I hope it doesn't stay. Because that was on the table still too. Because that Washington football team stuff sucks.
They're gonna get a name because they want everybody to buy new merchandise. So
yeah.
On there, Washington is a 6.5 point favorite against the Giants. On there, the Giants are terrible.
I was about to say that's only because they're so effing bad.
They're so effing bad. I'm gonna just say Washington because the Giants are just so effing bad.
Yep, that's what I'm at. And that's hard to say because Washington is a mess too. So it's just, yeah.
All right, so we got Indianapolis at 1 o'clock game. They're on the road in Jacksonville. They're right now, I think they got to win to get into the playoffs and that. So, because there's a shot that they may, if they lose, they could still get knocked out of the playoffs on there. So I think Indy's going to win 15.5 points against Jacksonville. Yeah, they're going to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor like 30 times.
Well, yeah, they better. And Jacksonville's not equipped to force them to throw, so
Jacksonville's not equipped to do anything.
they're not equipped to force anybody to do jack shit. That team is horrible. There's a lot of bad teams this year.
Oh yeah, this is a dysfunctional, terrible team.
Right. And it's funny because they talked about it, like, so basically since 1990, every year you've had 4 new teams in the playoffs, and that's what you have here. But I can't believe that it won't be different next year, where there'll be like maybe like 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's nowhere to go but up for some of these teams.
Oh God, yes.
I mean, some of these teams are just so bad, and I've never seen it where you've had. It's usually like 2 teams. Feels like there's 4 teams at least. Detroit, Houston, both New York teams.
Yeah. Jacksonville.
That's 5
terrible.
shit teams. Chicago, 6.
Yeah,
That's
6.
6 shit teams.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and we're gonna see Seattle next year is gonna be a dumpster fire because I don't think I think Russell's gone and they're gonna be on it. So, all right, we got another 1 o'clock game. Pittsburgh is on the road. This will be the last game in Big Ben's career. They're a 6.5 point dog to Baltimore. Baltimore, I think, has to win to get into the playoffs on this one. Pittsburgh,
Yeah, they'll be playing.
may have an outside shot on there. On it,
They need like 2.
They need
someone else to
They
lose.
need too many things to happen
yeah.
on there. I got Baltimore winning this.
I'm with you.
I think Lamar Jackson's back this week on there. So
Oh, if they got Lamar back, they'll be all in. They need to get. They want in the playoffs. Once you get in,
Yeah.
anything could happen.
I mean, the only thing Pittsburgh's got playing for is can T.J. Watt get the all-time sack lead because he's got 20 and he's got an outside shot. So
Well, that's cool. I mean, in a year with the extra game, I mean, I don't know what that means.
So him and his brother are part of the 20 sack club. So we got that. All right, Tennessee is the number 1 seed. They got to win to keep retain the number 1 seed. So they're going to be playing to win on there.
Sure.
Derrick Henry is officially off the IR. He won't play this week. They're going to just work him in there. They're going to want to keep the number 1 seed. They're playing Houston. Houston's a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah, they'll beat them.
Give me Tennessee.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Houston beat them earlier in the year, but trust me, they ain't going to win this week.
No.
All right, New Orleans is also fighting for their playoff spot on there. They're a 4.5 point favorite against Atlanta. They're on the road. Atlanta's at home on there. Atlanta's played better than what we all thought they would do this year, but still nothing great. I got New Orleans.
Yeah, they just seem to be crafty, and like you said, something about Atlanta. They're not.
They have no receivers other than Kyle Pitt. They have nothing.
Yeah,
They have no running. They have no running game on there. So
Yeah, they do punt a lot. Yeah, I'm with you.
all right, so we got that was a 4:25 game. There's no 4:05 games. They're all either 1 o'clock or 4:25, or we got the 8:20 game. We got the Jets are on the road there to Buffalo. They're a 6.5 point dog. Buffalo is playing for their division on there. I got Buffalo winning this one.
Yeah.
Again, the Jets are terrible.
It just gets back to what we were just talking about the bad teams in this league, man. And if you are fighting for a playoff spot in the last week of the season, ain't nothing better than to see the Jets, the Texans, the Jags, the Giants, the Bears. So, yeah.
So we got that on there. We got, let's see, another 4:25 game. Frisco is fighting for their playoff lives on there. They're a 5.5 point dog on the road to the Rams. Rams are fighting for their division. So if they win, they get the division on this one. On this, so I think they're going to keep obviously you'll see all their starters play on this one. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, I like the Rams too, but I think the Niners are going to put up a fight.
Oh, it's going to be a tough game.
I think it'll be a good
probably
game.
going to be one of the better games to watch on
Yeah,
here.
I agree.
New England is also fighting for their they're in the playoffs. They're fighting for the division. They're playing the same time, so you can't rest anybody because Buffalo and them are both playing at 4:25. They're playing Miami at Miami on this. Miami's got nothing to play
Miami
for. And
sucks
New England
anyway.
just just beat the living bejesus.
Yeah.
We are to Jacksonville over the weekend,
Right.
scoring a 50 burger, not even passing the ball. It was just run the ball
Yeah.
and score on this one. That's just going to same thing here. Give me New England. All right, Seattle's on the road. They're a dog on there. They're not going to make the playoffs. Not going to have a winning season. Arizona is fighting for their division on this one. They're a 6.5-point favorite at home, even though they have not played that well at home. Give me Arizona.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona as well. A little more offensive output there.
Yes. They had a nice win last week against Dallas. All right, Carolina is on the road. They're 8.5-point dog against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I think, has got the division wrapped up on this one. There is an outside shot. No, there's no. That's it. They're only having the division and be probably the number 2 seed on this one. But I think Tampa Bay's going to take care of this one.
Yeah.
Again, a steady dose of Fournette, Gronk, and Mike Evans.
Yeah, I think they get the guys reps, so they're not going to rest them too much. They may rest them in the end of the game if they got it, got a lead in that kind of scenario. So, yeah, I just don't see Carolina having what it takes to do anything here. So.
All right, so we got Sunday night on there. We got the Chargers are on the road at Vegas. They're a 2.5-point favorite against Vegas on this one. And it all depends on how this game goes, really, earlier on there. If Indianapolis wins on it, I think Vegas is out of the playoffs, so they would have nothing to play for. But if Indy loses on this one, there is a shot that both Vegas and the Chargers. Actually, the Chargers are playing for the playoff life, so if they win, they're in. Vegas needs Indianapolis to lose, and then they could get in with a tie or a win on this one. But I got the Chargers winning this one. I mean, it's bad. I mean, the Vegas just
This is the
Jekyll and Hyde.
This is the game you got to watch because honestly, check this out. What it is if a win or a tie, they both get in.
If Indy loses.
If Indy loses, you'll know ahead of time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if Indy loses, those two teams can go into that game and say knee and punt
Yes.
and end that game 0-0, and they're both in.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to go to the other coach and go, hey, gentleman's handshake. We're both in the playoffs. Are you down?
Yeah, the only thing is, it is a rivalry on there, and they don't like each other. So that's the
Dude, do
Wouldn't
you like getting to the playoffs?
Yeah, wouldn't that be the perfect scenario on there? Is Vegas makes the playoffs after firing Gruden?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I go. I make the call. Like I say, hey, like gentleman's handshake, man. We end this game in a tie, and we
Oh my God, the NFL would lose their freaking
and we both
minds.
go to the
Oh my God,
playoffs.
New York, Goodell would lose his freaking mind.
I think it would be epic. I think it'd be great. You have an entire game of every play is taking the knee or punting. It'd be amazing. You know what would happen to
Fair catch on them punts too.
no
No run back.
Yeah. No, you don't know. No one wants to get hurt. We got the playoffs coming
Right.
up.
We're in.
Yeah, dude, put all your fourth string players in there to just like fair catch everything.
But Indy's not losing to Jacksonville.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, that's true. But what if it happened? That'd be so great.
Then they're going to have to actually play to fight each other out. So on this one, I still got the Chargers winning this one because, again,
I do too.
because the Indy's not going to lose to being as a 15.5-point favorite.
I would take the Chargers too. But I'm just saying, like that would be that would be. You know, Twitter would break. You'd break Twitter. Dude, come on. The whole first quarter goes by, and that's all they did. Both teams. I mean, as soon as it started, Twitter would start lighting it up. You think this? Well, I guess it wouldn't be a 4-hour game. It'd probably be like 2 hours and 5 minutes or something, because they just
don't call any timeouts. Just
Yeah,
run it
just
down
go.
to 1 second. Knee.
Yeah. So I mean,
Knee.
gosh.
Totally hard on your because most of your fantasy leagues have no implications whatsoever because they're all done.
Oh my God, that would be such a.
Be awesome.
That would be so great. Oh man.
Again,
I'm rooting for that.
We are locked in step on this week.
Yeah.
And we only got one dog.
Jeez. I'm rooting for that. Is there a prop bet for that? I need a prop. With all these dumbass prop bets, I need.
I mean,
one for
yeah,
that
the only
game.
dog on there.
That's the last game, right?
Yeah.
That was the primetime game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, man. Oh, man. Moose, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, because, if you got no JoJo, I'm not taking Cincy. I got Green Bay. I mean, I'm not taking the Bears.
Oh, Moose, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I can't take the Giants. Can't take Jacksonville. Can't take. I mean, no. There is like literally is there. And again, there's 4 games with double-digit favorites. There's no way. I mean, come on. I mean, we had that earlier in the year where we had Arizona lose to Detroit, but I'm like, come on, you're a double-digit favorite. You're not going to lose most of these games.
God, that'd be so awesome.
There's not one. I mean, the closest game is the Detroit one at half a point, but I think now Green Bay's favored by like 2.5 points or something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's not a dog I feel comfortable with.
No, there isn't. And really, right now, it's kind of hard to even judge. Like, nobody jumps off the page. I guess Green Bay
As
does.
a dog, the Green Bay's
No.
the only one that says maybe.
Right. So it's like nobody stands.
Yeah, because the 4:00 games are all fighting for playoff spots. I mean, New Orleans is fighting for a playoff spot. Buffalo's fighting for the division. The Rams are fighting for the division. New England's fighting for the division. Arizona's fighting for the division. Those are all ones on there. It's like you got to go with the favorites because they got something to play for.
That's why it'd be so great if them guys just if that happened, they could just do the tie. That'd be so epic. This is so awesome. I mean, it'd just be so good. I don't know. I'm a dork.
Oh, AG now. Antonio Brown is accusing the Bucks of an injury cover-up. Antonio Brown has broken his silence in a lengthy statement through his attorney Sean Burstein. The veteran wide receiver explained his side of the situation that unfolded on there. He says basically it's a cover-up surrounding his injured ankle, noting the statement the MRI on top of his ankle revealed a broken bone fragment stuck in his ankle, the ligament torn from the bone, the cartilage loss, which are beyond painful. And he's also set to go undergo surgery on that ankle. Now, then why did you suit up?
Why were you doing jumping jacks?
Yeah,
on
why
your way
are you
out
doing
there?
jumping jacks?
Yeah, I just.
You may have been injured, but you know what? I call bullshit.
Well, this is my whole thing. I get that he's injured. Is that something that he couldn't play through? Because like all these guys are injured,
Right.
so
If he was that injured, then he basically should have never suited up.
well, that's my take. Like if you're that injured,
And he did play the first half.
right?
And he did look pretty good a couple plays on there when he got the ball
Sure.
thrown to him. He was just pissy because they weren't throwing him enough.
Well, my whole thing is, why have you not built up enough like goodwill within the organization that they are buying what you're selling, right?
Right.
Because this is what boils down to. Like, you obviously they don't believe you.
No.
They think you lie all the time.
Yeah, because you did lie about the vaccination
Well,
card.
you lies about everything.
Yeah.
So, so if you're not honest with people, then they assume you're lying. He watched you play a half of football with no issues.
Right.
If you were that injured before that, you should have said something.
Right.
And they could have had some stuff taken and looked at. And then even if he's the coach is the asshole and sends you and says, get out there and play or go home. Even if it is all that, why are you acting like that?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just leave? Just leave and then put the stuff out. Be like, dude, guy wanted me to go in. I was hurt. Here's my medical report.
Right.
And then everybody's going to just go, oh, shit. And then the heat's off you. But you acted like a clown.
Right. And you got in Seth Rogen's Uber.
Yeah. And then you were so hurt that you traveled all over town and you went to
he went to the Nets game.
Yeah, the Nets game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? You spent like 3 days in New York in the same clothes.
Right.
What do you mean if you were that injured, why were you out on the town partying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. It's just one of those things. Like, I'm not trying to say, but like it's the same kind of thing. Like at your job, right? If you're never late and you never call in, and then you say, hey, you call the boss one day and you go, oh, I'm running late, they're gonna be like, all right, no problem, right? Because you're always on time, you always show up, you don't bullshit them at work, you do what you got to do. It's the same thing,
Right.
They thought he was bullshitting because he bullshits so much they can't tell the difference. And then he acted like a clown anyway. Like I said, if he was too hurt to play, he should have been doing jumping jacks in the end zone on his way out the door.
Right.
He shouldn't have been suited up for that game to begin with.
Right.
He should have said something before.
Right.
If it happened during that game, he should have made it very clear, hey, something happened when I was out there with my foot and it hurts and we need to get it checked out. And you go back and you look. You don't just refuse to, you don't just say nothing and then refuse to go in when he calls your number.
Right, because at halftime in the locker room, he threw a temper tantrum because he wasn't getting targeted enough.
Yeah, see?
So, you know, we're all going to go. He may have been injured, but, dude,
yeah,
you act like a clown and
right.
You get what you
I
get.
think it's one of those injuries where he could have dealt with it in the off season, and yeah, he chose to act like a goof and then say, hey, see, look what happened. It's like, okay, whatever. Go talk to somebody. You need it.
You need help.
Yes. You guys can talk to us next week. We'll see
be
you
back.
then.
Peace out, brothers.
Be good to each other. Love you. Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.